One day, a boy named Oh Kang Woo was trapped in hell. With all his limits, he was forced to fight alone in order to survive against the demons, until over time he managed to defeat millions of demons and became a demon king. After his struggle for 10,000 years, he had the opportunity to return to Earth, but when he managed to return, the Earth had changed. A gate sprung up everywhere, and humans had the power to fight against monsters. So how did he deal with this situation? This story begins somewhere, a place called the Nine Hell, where the heat envelops the entire area with the moon emitting hot lava, a place that is the deepest hell, where the strongest demons live and fight endlessly. Two demons are seen fighting. At the beginning of the fight they look balanced. They both hit each other and cause a big explosion, and in the end, the red demon has won the fight. The red demon, called Balak, said in his mind, "In this place, there will never be an eternal winner." All continue to fight, but all that changed after the appearance of that boy. The scene moves to a place called the Demon King's Castle. Balak, who was previously so powerful when fighting other demons, but now he kneels before a figure. The figure is the highest authority in the Nine Hells, the strongest figure among all demons, and he is known as the Demon King. While kneeling, Balak said, "O Demon King, why do you want to return to Earth? Don't you have everything here?" Demon King got up from his chair. While removing his mask, he said, "I've been trapped for 10,000 years in this place, every day just fighting and fighting, and all of a sudden," he shouted, "you think I'm happy?" It turns out that the figure of the Demon King is a human, the boy called Oh Kang Woo. Balak tried to change the king's mood. He said if maybe the king was hungry, then we would prepare a meal. Although this is not much for you who have devoured 10,000 demons, but this is a delicious meal. Balak gave a dish in the form of an octopus demon. "This is very delicious, please enjoy this." But suddenly Kang Woo threw it, and annoyed he said, "How could I eat food like this?" Then while biting his lip, Kang Woo said he wanted to eat kimchi. The demons wondered, "What is kimchi? What kind of food does the king want? Is it a food that contains red meat?" Balak suddenly got excited. He asked Kang Woo what ingredients were needed to make kimchi. Was it one of the monster's internal organs? "Give us an order and we'll make it for you, king." Kang Woo really felt frustrated and disappointed with the demons' thinking. Because none of them could understand the concept of delicious food, they also couldn't understand that he wanted to read comics and have a girlfriend. Not long after the girl demon came, she said that the king already had me. "I am the most beautiful demon in hell." The demon named Lilith, the queen of succubus. Lilith tried to kiss Kang Woo, but Kang Woo rejected her because he was sick of seeing her face. It's true that Lilith makes the demons in hell fall in love, but not for Kang Woo, because Lilith is a monster. Kang Woo couldn't stand it anymore. He shouted, saying he was going back to Earth. He was sick of being in hell for 10,000 years. Suddenly the demons were shocked to hear that. They were not willing to miss Kang Woo as their king. In his mind, Kang Woo said, "Although there were many persuasions from them for me to stay, but my intention will not change for 10,000 years. After being trapped in hell, all my preparations have now been completed. Now the time has come to get the reward for my suffering for 10,000 years." With a serious face, Kang Woo told Balak to prepare something. Balak tried to hold Kang Woo's leaving, and suddenly Kang Woo got angry and said, "Are you going to make me say it twice?" Balak knelt down in fear. He apologized and said he would prepare it now. He told his people to call Amen and prepare the armors of the 7 princes of hell. After all the preparations had been done, a demon with the black sorcerer skill named Amen held a staff and cast a spell, and then the 7 statues surrounding a ritual place began to shine. Kang Woo began to walk to the ritual site. Then Amen said, "If you placed that much magic into the armor of the 7 princes of hell, Your Highness, it might violently flex the limits of space and time and create a crack in dimensions." Kang Woo said, "All right, let's start." Kang Woo stood in the center of the ritual site, and then he released his demonic energy called 10,000 Demon Energy Core. The energy gathered to form a core, and suddenly it was released. Shortly after that, A dimensional crack was shown in front of Kang Woo. In his mind he said, "Finally all my suffering is over. My family, friends or lovers may all be gone. But it doesn't matter, I've made up my mind to return." Kang Woo soon jumped into the dimensional crack. Then he smirked and turned around while giving a middle finger farewell to the demons and said, "I did not enjoy meeting you. Let's not meet ever again." Kang Woo was now floating in a mysterious dimension. Then he landed in an unknown room. Near him was a mysterious orb, and not long after the orb reacted to bring up a system screen that read detecting the fissure's nucleus. The room instantly changed, then a system message appeared: the dimensional defense mechanism, Gaia system, has been activated. Kang Woo wondered what was going on. Warning: the power of the nucleus is stronger than the limit, activating the defense mechanisms of all dimensions. Gaia system is being overloaded. Kang Woo was suddenly hit by lightning, and the system gave another warning: failure. Total elimination of the fissure nucleus has been deemed impossible. Restricted sealing has been initiated. Kang Woo tried to smash the orb in front of him, but suddenly he slowly fainted. Soon Kang Woo began to wake up. As he opened his eyes he wondered where he was now. He saw sunlight and forests, and he thought maybe he was now on Earth. Then he checked his body condition, but suddenly a status window appeared in front of him. The notification read, "Oh Kang Woo, Level 1. First Stage Awakening Attribute. The Authority of Predation. Rank: Unknown. More of the attribute's power has been sealed. Innate Class: Unknown. Besides that, it looks like his other statuses are still low." While confused with his current situation, Kang Woo suddenly was attacked by an army of goblins. In his mind he wondered why goblins could exist on Earth, but he thought it was not the time to think about it right now. He had to defeat them in one hit. Kang Woo unleashed his power, but suddenly the power disappeared. He wondered why the demonic energy inside the 10,000 demon core was weak. So he was forced to use another way to fight: the demon Sabnak's authority of the blade. With the blade that came out of his hand, Kang Woo cut down the goblins one by one until he leveled up to level 4. And in the end, he managed to defeat the entire goblin horde. In his mind he was wondering why goblins existed on Earth, as well as the notification from the system about his level up earlier. He decided to get some information about his current situation first. Kang Woo released his power, Authority of Predation, a special skill possessed by the Demon King to devour monsters. The energy immediately devoured the bodies of the goblins until they became bones. Suddenly a notification from the system appeared: demonic energy has increased by 1 point. Upon receiving the notification, Kang Woo was surprised, as demonic energy should only exist in hell, and now he thought he had failed to return to Earth. As he felt disappointed, suddenly the sound of screaming was heard. Realizing it was a human voice, he quickly moved at high speed towards the source of the sound. While moving to the source of the sound, Kang Woo hoped he could meet a human. No matter who he would meet, he just hoped it was a human, as he was fed up with the demons. And finally, Kang Woo saw the goblins targeting a girl. He observed carefully: 2 eyes, 1 nose, and no tentacles. Seeing that, he cried happily. The goblins attacked a girl who had been cornered. The girl closed her eyes in fear, but when she opened her eyes, suddenly the goblins had been killed by Kang Woo. He killed the entire goblin army in an instant. After that, Kang Woo reached out his hand and asked about the girl's condition. Then the girl held Kang Woo's hand and thanked him for saving her. At that moment, Kang Woo suddenly felt like flying to heaven. Oh my! This feeling! The touch of this hand! She was really human. The girl introduced her name as Han Sola, but suddenly the girl was surprised because Kang Woo was trembling and wouldn't release her hand. All of a sudden Kang Woo said, "Let's get married." Hearing that, Sola was surprised and felt awkward. Kang Woo, who noticed it, immediately released his grip and apologized. Then he introduced himself. Suddenly Sola could not stand up and her smartphone fell. Seeing a smartphone dropped, Kang Woo realized that he was now on Earth. Kang Woo treated Sola, who was injured. In his mind he said this was the first time he talked in Korean again with humans. because in hell he instructed the demons to use Korean so that he would not forget the language when he returned to Earth. Kang Woo returned Sola's dropped smartphone. He saw that the date on the smartphone was currently 2023. He noticed that 5 years had passed since he fell into hell. He was surprised because he was sure he had spent 10,000 years in hell. Kang Woo asked Sola why she was here, and what she was doing. Sola replied she was solo hunting into a gate, and she had just awakened as a level 6 player yesterday. Hearing that Kang Woo was wondering, hunting? Player? What exactly is this place? It doesn't sound like Earth. Kang Woo asked where Sola was going. He would take her with him because with her current injuries, she wouldn't be able to go alone. Sola accepted and she asked him to help her up to the gate. They arrived at a gate that linked the Earth to this world. In his mind, Kang Woo was wondering, a gate? Moving using these rifts in space must mean that this isn't completely Earth. I don't see any equipment that's making the rift, so how is a gate this large maintain itself? I have to adjust to what has changed on Earth now. Kang Woo started to enter the gate, and upon exiting he was in a place with many people crowded around wearing battle gear, all busy looking to recruit members for a goblin hunting party. Seeing all around him filled with humans, he was trembling and crying because he had successfully returned to Earth. Suddenly Sola invites Kang Woo to have a meal at her apartment as a thank you for saving her, hearing that Kang Woo's mood changes like the arrival of spring. But suddenly 2 gate officers come up to them and ask to confirm the identity of their player cards. Kang Woo didn't understand what they meant, and he doesn't have any ID card on Earth now. Therefore, Kang Woo was forced to release a demonic skill to trick the officers, Demon Dantalion's Authority of Blind. With this skill he can change the target's vision, a skill that can manipulate what the target sees according to his wishes. The officer who was manipulated said, "Yes, I have confirmed it, you can leave." Sola took Kang Woo to her place and then she said, "Sorry, no elevator in our apartment so we have to take the stairs." While walking up the stairs Kang Woo thinks, it smells like an old apartment. The narrow stairs, the dusty windows, this is all really real now. Moreover, I will enter Sola's house. And in that moment his dirty mind came out. He was sure there would be a wonderful life created for him soon. Until here this video. Thank you for watching. Peace.